Well, it's been 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine, and that's what we're talking about today on This is Manitoba. I'm Corey Funk, and if you're wondering how many people have moved to Manitoba from Ukraine, that number is 29,000 people since the war broke out. And today on the show, we're going to hear from one of them. Anna Bieliaha came to Winnipeg in October 2022, and she has a 10-month-old son who's never been to his mother's homeland. She spoke with the CBC's Margaux Watt.
How are you doing today and feeling on this day?
For us, it's not just a word, not just a date. It's something what changed our life totally, yes? Because, many times I ask it myself, what does it war mean for me exactly? Because war for a lot of people in the world, it's just a word. It's just some historical facts. It's just something on the map. Yes, we can see, for example, headlines in news, numbers in reports, and headlines in newspaper, but we cannot feel exactly sometimes because we are not there and we don't know what does it mean. You just sleep tonight and planning tomorrow meet your client and pay your water bill and meet some friends, and just 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. at the morning you wake up and it is war. And you cannot even understand this totally for first time because it's big stress, it just our mental cannot provide what's going on. So of course for us, for all Ukrainians, it's not just a date, it's a number what totally changed our lives. For us it's something when we say goodbye and we don't know we can see our parents or our closed one in the future or not. Sometimes when we say goodbye for forever. So yes, this date for us very tense, very stressful, but in other way around, it still shows that Ukraine have incredibly unity of the Ukrainian people for now, until now, in Manitoba, in other countries. It's just amazing because it's sad to say, but it's really unite Ukrainian people. This war, we start to be more friendly, more closer to each other.
I think probably a lot of people can't even imagine what it's like to live like that, what you just described. How would you describe what it's been like for you and your family?
First of all, I met war in Ukraine, and in this day, actually, I was visiting my mom and dad, and I met war exactly with my parents. So for us, it's something just like we cannot see each other whenever we want. We cannot spend a thankful day together. We cannot celebrate Christmas. We cannot just visit each other. Yes, and even like my mom or my dad, she cannot come and take her grandchild and just play with him and just enjoy this time. Time is so precious. Time is so important, and really, it's. Sometimes I just would like to ask people to appreciate what you have. If you have peace in your country, it's amazing gift. You not need nothing more. Just believe me, it's amazing gift what we have. We can just sleep and wake up in the morning and have this blessing. We have blessing to live. We have blessing right now to have this news and talk with each other, yes? And we in safe place. So it's big appreciation. And once more, I still very grateful for Canada, for Manitoba and Winnipeg in general, to accept me, to accept my family, to give me a chance to create my life and for my son to be in a safe place.
What's it been like finding that community here?
Community in Winnipeg are just incredible, amazing, really. For these 3 years, every year I get more and more friends here. We have some meetings, we have some play games together. We just sometimes meet each other, just for a cup of coffee. In Ukraine, what I said before, as I mentioned, we do not have this close friendship with each other, yes, because every of us have their own life. But here, something what happened with us, it make us closer and closer. Ukrainian community here are just amazing, and a lot of people like Oksana Burchak and Dmitro Vasil Malik, they really help Ukrainians to survive here, to feel more comfortable, because for us it's not planning immigration, yes, because it's different when you plan and planning your immigration and when you just leave your country by force, yes. So they help and they cooperate our community, and really I'm so happy because I choose this province once more, because here a lot of Ukrainian people and it's just like my family here. So thank you so much. Community really amazing, and it's unite us each other to be more and more closer to each other.
So you have found a new family here. You still have family in Ukraine. How are they doing?
Every day situation in Ukraine going worse and worse, and I just tired to see this news because someone just said, "Oh, there is Mr. Trump going to meet Mr. Putin, and they will going to decide something about Ukraine." Actually, Ukraine is first country which should stay and talk about their destiny, about their people. So. My parents still in Ukraine. My father still cannot cross the border because he's not 60 years old, and I didn't see him more than 2 years, like around 2 years. My mom just visited me on October for 1 month, just to see her grandson.
Oh, that must have been
My
lovely for you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. We met in airport. I was cried a lot, and my mom cried a lot, and she really was happy every day here because she has this opportunity. Yes, and because of Canadian government make for Ukrainian visa, like easier to get this visa, yes, so our parents can visit us sometimes, so it's amazing stuff. But other way around, Ukraine now in very bad shape, and it's very difficult situation because Russia still occupies about 20% of Ukrainian territory, and intense fighting continues every day. Just like 2 days ago, it was very hard night attack around the whole Ukraine, not just for part of Ukraine, the whole Ukraine. Sometimes my mom said, I walking around, I thought it just some like birds, but it's not birds, it's drones, drones. And every day we call our parents or our friends, and sometimes we didn't know if they will answer the phone. That's they say these things about it. We don't know. We just wake up, we call them, and who knows? They can answer or they cannot.
How hopeful are you that this could be over someday soon?
Mr. Trump is good businessman, and I think he just need for Russia sanction going down and down. He, I think, would like to trade around the world and Russia be part of this trade. So I think even if Mr. Trump will part of that war going to finish, it will good for his business. It will good for his trading in the world, but it's not about that he likes Ukrainians or he like Ukraine. It's just about business. Actually, it's good for us. Even if it's about business, thanks God, we just need that war stop. We just need that people stop to die every day. Because for us, it's war, yes, some people every day losing their fathers, their children, their mothers, friends. So yes, for me right now, hope, because I saw some news about very big project in Bukovel. So there is a lot of people who going to invest around the world, around $4 million. So it gives me a hope that if someone really decide to invest money in Ukraine right now, that maybe they know something else, something more, I mean. And it gives me a hope. I pray for it every day. It gives me a hope, and for all Ukrainian people that war going to finish. Just finish or froze. I don't know how to explain, but for us it's just very important that people stop to die. Our soldiers stop to die. Our parents be in the safe place, and we can just visit our parents. Yes, some people or who immigrate 3 years ago, they have adapted now for another countries, so maybe they will not back to Ukraine after the war is finished, but at least they will have opportunity to go and see their loved one. So it's give a hope. Yeah.
Anna, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All the
Thank you
best.
so much.
All the best to you and your family.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Well, that was Anna Bieliaha speaking with CBC's Margaux Watt on the 3rd anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Well, you're listening to This is Manitoba, and next on the podcast, the Winnipeg Jets are hosting their annual Black History Month game. That's tonight. It's Monday that we're recording here. And this year, the team will be honoring former Jet Eldon Pokey Reddick. Reddick was the goaltender for the Jets from 1986 to 1989. And in the late 80s, Pokey made his history when he became the second black goalie to play in the National Hockey League. And he won the Stanley Cup during his time with the Edmonton Oilers. And now he coaches hockey in Las Vegas, where he started Nevada's first ever high school hockey team. He spoke with information radio host Marcy Markusa ahead of the big game tonight.
Hi to you.
Hi to you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. It's always great to talk to fellow Canadians. Love it. Love it.
Congratulations on this. How are you feeling about this honor?
I think it's when you're playing, and I know from other guys who are of color and, you know, of different nationalities, you just play because you love the sport. Hockey's always been my thing, so to speak. Growing up in Canada, we always knew that I always knew that I was going to play hockey at the level. I didn't know which level, but once I got to junior, I figured out, hey, maybe I can really do this for, you know, for a gig, as you're going to call it. But it was one of those things that that's what I wanted to do with my life, is become a hockey player. I didn't really care about the color of my skin. I knew there was going to be obstacles along the way, and that's how I handled these obstacles along the way. So,
how do you reflect on it now? You know, then you're in it. You know, you're loving the sport. You're playing.
Now,
How do you reflect on it now?
I think it's a big achievement. It's you know, I have 4 kids. I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and you know, you go back and was it really tough like that, Dad? Yeah, it was. It is what it is. But you know, if you have a dream and a passion, you're going to push forward, and to get to where you get, especially at the highest level of hockey that you can compete in, and the best players in the world in the league. It's you sit back now as an older guy, sit back and I says, well, you know, I actually did something. So, and again, more colored people or more people of different types of ethnicities makes it easier for other kids to get that opportunity that maybe my favorite goalie back in the day was Rogie Vachon, and he wasn't a black guy. So now you get to see more guys that are, you know, up there, you know, if you're black, you're looking at Grant Fuhr or all these other type goalies. That's why I kind of looked once he started getting into the league, because he was a little bit older than I was. Then I think, oh, maybe I can get there. So it's a great achievement. It's something that, like I say, you got to go through it. And it's one of those things that you know, I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
I'm not looking for this to be negative, but I am looking for it to be truthful and real, of course. So I'm wondering if you faced racism coming up and where you put that as you're achieving your dream as a young man.
They're like we call them obstacles in our house. We don't really call them racism. We just call them obstacles. How do you go over these? People are always going to tell you you can't or you shouldn't or this is in your way. How do you move it? So I look at it as same thing I tell my kids. There's going to be obstacles. It's how we take them and how we move them. Was there racism? Yeah, sure was. And any hockey player that's of color or race or whatever, they're going to tell you the same thing. So it's just how you move them. Can you move them positive? Can you move them negative? It's just all how you tend to move the obstacle. So that's how I braced all my stuff or how I looked at things. So
why did you fall in love with the game of hockey? Like, how old were you when you were like, oh, this is for me?
I probably started at 4 or 5 playing hockey. My dad played a little bit of hockey, chasing his little dream back in the day, but it's Canadian, right? It is what it is. It's Canadian. That's what we do. We play hockey. I'm sorry. Growing up in America, we know they play baseball and football, but I know, that's what we do. We play hockey. I'm sorry.
And I've never known this. I mean, like I said, I grew up watching you in the stands, cheering Pokey, but why was that your nickname?
It's just because I was kind of like, if the street lights didn't come on, I come in late. It wasn't, I'm still out skating with the boys or playing ball hockey or street hockey, whatever we did back in those days. And parents are like, geez, that kid's so pokey. What's taking him so long? And then it just, that's just how it came to be. And I mean, I went to school, my first couple of years of school, teachers didn't know my real name. It's the craziest thing. They called me Pokey too. So that's just how it's been with me since I could remember.
To look back at the significance of becoming just the second black goalie to play in the National Hockey League, there's still a small percentage of NHL players that are black. Why do you think that is still the case?
I just think it's going to take its time. It's a sport where it's generated more towards it's an expensive sport. It really is. People just from coaching and my boys playing, and actually my oldest just retired. Now he's coaching in the NA, which is a junior league, which is like I'll probably say a little bit more above than the MJ Manitoba Junior League. So I know he's coaching in hockey and he's just started his little way of that, but it just makes it's just tougher. It's just an expensive sport now that it's really expensive in America, because I see it every day. But it's starting to move, but it just takes time, I guess.
What are your fondest memories when you look back at your career about playing in Winnipeg?
Just the guys I played with. It was awesome. Like that was my favorite time. 3 years in Winnipeg was awesome. I played in Brandon my junior, so I would kind of go back and forth. There's an opportunity for me to practice. They would say, come on in, and I'd practice maybe once and then go back and play junior. But to me, the people were so nice, friendly, great place to raise a family, great city. Everybody was, very supportive of the Jets back then, or the Blue Bombers. So it was actually awesome.
You remember the old barn and looking up at the Queen pick, which of course we love to talk about far too much probably in the city.
Yeah, it was awesome though. It was like the first time I walked in there, it says, man, that's a big picture of the Queen. It was huge. It was so big.
When it comes to diversity in the league, how have things changed? In your view, what are some of the positives to talk about, to hang on to, and build on? I should say, yeah.
Pardon?
I was going to say, and build on, I should say.
I think the league has gotten behind it a lot more. I think it's hockey's for everybody. We know that, and that's what it should be. A lot of guys are going out of their way now to do more of the little extra things to promote the game to different areas that, I grew up in Vegas, and I know the Golden Knights do a little bit more to some of the diverse communities. And so we know that it works. It just takes a little bit of time. So I know the league is really behind it, and guys are, grabbing it and trying to run with it a little bit. So it's going to just take some time.
Do you think it's important for professional sports leagues like the NHL to host things like, the Black History Month games, or because that can be contentious at points, right? Where it's like, it can be maybe disappointing to people that we still need a month to talk about Black history. I'm wondering how you view this.
I think the more you get it's out there, the more people realize. You know what I mean? It's not like it's just, like you said, it's once a month. It should be all the time, but we know how the world works. So, anytime you get to promote it, you should promote it as best you can.
What are you most looking forward to at the game when you're going to be honored, and who's going to be there to celebrate with you or to watch?
Well, all my family's coming, which is great. I mean, all my kids, and my parents aren't alive. Obviously, they're older, but all my 4 siblings, and so all my family is going to be there. So it's going to be fun for us. And like I said, Winnipeg it's a big part of my life. That's how I got my start. The people were very nice to me, and again, growing up, and at that particular time, I knew in the league there was 2 goalies. One was Grant, one was myself, and I knew there was 2 or 3 other players playing. So every time we kind of cross paths, we always say, good job, whatever the circumstance may be. So to me, it's going to be awesome for my family to be there. So
you mean that limited number of Black players in the league at that time, you guys actually supported each other?
Sure did. Yes, we did. Like, it was like, it's hard. People don't realize it's when you just see a handful of us playing, so we're wishing that they do well, and we're not really worrying about our colors so much. We're worrying about trying to stay in the league and play at the same time, right?
Well, congratulations, Pokey Reddick. Thanks for making some of my childhood memories watching you on the ice with the Jets in the 80s, and enjoy your time back in Winnipeg. I know you said you haven't been back in about a decade, so it'll be something to be here.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, and good job. Thanks.
Well, that was Eldon Pokey Reddick speaking with Information Radio host Marcy Markusa. He's being recognized by the Jets as part of Black History Month. Well, that is a wrap for this edition of This is Manitoba. I'm Corey Funk, sitting in for Marcy Markusa. Make sure to follow and share, and I'll see you around.